Welcome to the Netherlands. More specifically, welcome to Texel, an island just off the north coast. It's here and in the surrounding waters that 47 Commando Raiding Group Royal Marines are training the next generation of landing craft operators. After 3 months of training in the UK, Exercise Green Tulip is the final tick in the box to become a fully fledged coxswain.
You need a craft operator that can fulfill every role, that is a commando first and a coxswain second. So we don't leave those commando skills behind when they become an LC. A good example would be the fire support variants for the Orcs. Run by an LC, that is a gun line with 4 50 cals and 4 GPMGs, so a lot of firepower.
There's a lot of aspects to the landing craft operator role. For all of the vessels, there are universal skills that must be learned, like how to fix basic engine issues and how to pick up a person overboard. But for each of the different course levels the Royal Marines are completing, there are a variety of different competencies that must be shown. For example, for the IRC, they must master the basics of covert insertion of troops on a beach or up a river, and how to camouflage the craft and keep engine noise to a minimum. Moving on to the Orcs, commandos have to operate as a section, so a group of Orcs working together, manoeuvring at high speed by day and night. With the LCVPs, it's perfecting operating the craft at night, including just using radar, so if other tools like GPS aren't accessible, the coxswain has the confidence to navigate safely. And with the LCUs, demonstrating the ability to pick up multiple vehicles and place them on the craft is essential. For Royal Marines to remain dynamic and keep the enemy guessing, the small vessels can manoeuvre into different parts of the coastline a large ship cannot access, which is why the specialism 47 Commando has is so important.
When you go through basic training, obviously all you're thinking about at that point is the tactical element, whereas as soon as you chuck boats in, you have to think about the engineering, making sure that you navigate properly on the water, and then thinking about everything else tactically, making sure that you're fully calmed out, making sure you've got the kit you need.
It's the combination of handling the craft, being tested in a tactical scenario, all in the unknown waters of the Netherlands, that will push the Royal Marines to complete the landing craft courses, effectively delivering commando strike teams onto land to defeat a fictional enemy. They have some time to practice during daylight hours. The enemy are on the move and the commandos take action. For the landing craft operators, it's one thing getting the strike teams safely onto the beach. It's another getting them off again under attack. All types of scenarios are used to prepare for any eventuality, as nothing replaces experience. And now it's time for the final exercise, most of which takes place at night, adding another layer of complexity. For the Royal Marines on their course, they will be under the watchful eye of their assessors.
It's quite a big difference. Naturally, lighting conditions, even the weather sometimes when it's poor, it can be quite difficult to navigate the craft, etc. Certainly at night, if we have got a good moon state, that'll help us. Obviously, it means that the enemy can probably see us as well, but as the directing staff, we sort of follow that performer or checklist and just make sure that they're covering all the different points on the course itself.
As the Marines prepare for the final exercise, a beach reconnaissance team are sent out to look at underwater gradients, check for obstacles, to see where it's best to insert troops and what type of craft can be used. The accumulation of their training is being put under the microscope in an assimilated battle framework with a few surprises to make it as realistic as possible. They've brought smaller vessels alongside the larger landing craft to transfer the strike teams across ready for beach landings, an essential but tricky skill to perfect by the coxswains, as one wrong move could mean damage to the craft or personnel.
So we're testing them in every aspect of being a landing craft coxswain. So they've got a huge amount to think about because it's inherently quite dangerous on the water. So they've got that aspect to think about, but then they're also thinking about the tactical exercise and the kind of areas that will be inserting strike teams are going to be contested, and then we'll have injects that will change their plan as they're going through it and kind of test them on their feet.
When you're part of Force 7 Commando, working on the water means you have to take into consideration the sea state, swell, wind direction, fuel consumption, ammunition levels, and a whole lot more. Plus intelligence updates on the enemy, so the mission can start. The strike teams have been dropped ashore, and the landing craft provide overwatch. The adversaries on land are making sure the commandos work hard to defeat them. In this exercise, the Royal Marines apprehend a detainee. Then it's back to the landing craft for a swift exit under the cover of darkness. No matter what craft or what level of coxswain, all roles Force 7 Commando produce are integral to tactical operations that require working along coastlines. The vessels can provide a flexible and small footprint with a range of firepower. And now the final part of the landing craft operator course is complete. The newly qualified specialist Royal Marines are ready for deployment. Bryony Williams, Forces News, the Netherlands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.